Welcome back. So today I got some important things to share with you guys, including one price prediction from one major bank that thinks Bitcoin is going to hit $120,000, not by the end of this year, by the end of this quarter. That's right. And still on track to hit 200,000 by the end of this year. So let's talk about that price prediction and also talk about a lot more tariff news and other crypto news as well. There's a lot to talk about, so let's jump right in. By the way, in case you guys didn't notice, I'm not at home. I finally adjusted to my time difference, so I'm able to record this for you guys right before market bell. But you can see Bitcoin is still holding strong. Even with yesterday and today, we're starting out the next day, still holding about $95,000. Bitcoin is as solid as a rock these days, not going anywhere, despite more volatility, despite more FUD and tariff stuff. Doesn't matter, right? Bitcoin is holding strong. First, a lot more tariff stuff. First of all, Amazon. Amazon says they plan on displaying a separate cost for tariffs next to the price of their goods, okay, being sold on Amazon. And the White House does not like it. So, so this is Amazon's response to the tariffs. So basically, if it's like 245% or 45% or whatever it may be, or just 20% or 10%, they will display it next to the total price. At least that's what's been reported. So the White House obviously does not like that. And there's a lot of companies still just uncertain about all the tariff stuff, right? And UPS came out and said that because there are going to be a lot less Amazon shipments, there are 20,000 jobs just in anticipation of less Amazon shipments. What about everyone else, right? What about FedEx out there and the US Postal Service and, other shipping carriers from around the world like DHL and many others around the world? Are they going to do the same, right? Proactively start cutting because of less shipments? Who knows, right? Possibly because it makes a lot of sense because everyone can put two and two together. Okay, as price of goods goes up, there's going to be less people buying, and less people buying, there's going to be less shipments. I mean, it's just really that simple. GM says that they're going to reassess their full year guidance. Okay, even though Trump and administration says that they are going to reduce the impact of auto tariffs. Automakers, they're still unsure, right? They don't know how well they're going to do. And of course, consumer products like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and others, they're kind of like, I don't know. Pepsi cut earnings outlook. Coca-Cola says maybe, tariffs will be manageable, but like everyone's like up in the air, right? No one really knows what is going to happen exactly. So, I mean, that's the bottom line. There's just still so much FUD out there. But one thing that we do know for a fact is Bitcoin is on track for record price this quarter. Okay. And this comes to the prediction. This is from Standard Chartered, one of the biggest banks on the planet out of Europe. They are absolutely huge. They are all completely gung ho about Bitcoin and crypto now. They are the ones that are saying because now there's this reallocation. People are now recognizing Bitcoin as a store of value, as a hedge against inflation, and especially because what's going on in the US with the crashing dollar and fears about, everything else. This is a real thing. This is a real thing, real momentum. And they believe by the end of this quarter, which is Q2, Bitcoin will hit $120,000. So that means not only will we break our previous high of 109,000, so That is coming soon. We're going to hit 120. And by the end of this year, they are sticking with their previous prediction of $200,000. They are ultra bullish. And the CEO of Standard Chartered, he himself has said he has 30% of his net wealth in Bitcoin. So obviously, he's walking the walk, not just talking the talk, right? He is putting his money where his mouth is, and that is Bitcoin, right? So that is the one way we could opt out. With everything that's going on, the one certainty that we have is Bitcoin is staying strong. Despite we had a couple rocky months, now it is coming back strong. And this week, the reason why I'm in Dubai is because we have several big conferences. We have Token 2049, which is one of the biggest ones out there, and then we have a few other smaller ones like Sui Basecamp that follows it, right? And there could be a lot of exciting things that comes out of these conferences. But besides, okay, just this prediction, I mean, there's so many other good things. Bitcoin supply on exchanges drops to a 7-year low. And this is because retail investors are buying, and also because BlackRock is buying. Yesterday, BlackRock had alone almost $1 billion worth of inflows. Now, the others had outflows, like ARK, Bitwise, Invesco. They all had outflows, except BlackRock, almost $1 billion of inflow. So that tells you something. BlackRock, Larry Fink, and others, they're thinking this is the right bet right now, right? And same thing with Sailor. Sailor acquired 1.4 billion. He keeps on increasing his buys. Last week it was like 555 million. This week he tripled that, 1.4 billion with a B. Insane, right? So obviously Sailor, Larry Fink, and others, they continue to HODL and DCA, right? Just like you and I. And there will be many others that will do the same. Arizona has passed both their Bitcoin reserve and the digital asset reserve, just waiting for a governor's signature. So this is the future. States will be following along as well, right? This is the future. Don't ignore this movement, right? This reallocation of assets into Bitcoin. It's happening right now. And if Standard Chartered's predictions are correct, we will see some mooning shortly. We don't have to wait that long. And that also correlates, they talk about this quarter. That's when quantitative easing is supposed to start. We're going to get that Fed rate cut in the US either May or June, right? So that falls into this quarter. It all aligns. If you look at some of the technical stuff, looks pretty good. Here's a breakout from a downtrend, right? And we have broken out not only the downtrend, but we have also broken up the 21-week EMA, which is also good. So we are definitely in an uptrend once again. Here is showing a squeeze of the Bollinger Bands. Whenever you have that squeeze, the last time we had it was, about a week ago. That's when we jumped up. So normally speaking, when you have a squeeze, that's a good thing. Well, it's not always a good thing. It could go up or down, but there tends to be a huge movement afterwards. And seeing how we have bullish momentum, probably to the upside, right? So a lot of great things happening. And you know what? For XRP, they're going to get a lot of ETFs. These are future-based ETFs. Okay, so not spot ETFs, but nevertheless, future-based ETFs and futures themselves can bring in billions from Wall Street, right? And we have seen this do good for Solana, and it could probably do good for Ripple as well. And not only that, it seems like Cardano may be the next one to get their ETF as well. So on Polymarket, there's a 70% chance now that ADA will be getting their ETF, right? Probably with futures-based ETF first, then spot ETF, just like all the others. But I do think the coins that get their ETF in this bull run will definitely get a boost because it just makes sense. There's going to be a lot of investors, a lot of money, a lot of liquidity that will be coming and flowing in with these ETFs. It's really that simple. All right, guys. So this is slightly before market bell right now. You see the futures market. Wait, hold on. Futures market. I can bring up futures market. Kind of mixed still, right? A little green, a little red. Although Nasdaq is deeper in the red. We'll see what happens. Still of a lot of FUD, a lot of fear about tariffs. It's not over. Definitely not over. Last week, obviously, we saw Trump backtrack a little bit and not go be like so harsh on tariffs, but still they exist. They haven't gone away. So a lot of companies, like I just showed you guys, are still very afraid of what's coming. But how you opt out is by opting in Bitcoin. Really, that's it. And there are a lot of bullish predictions from very bullish people that truly believe. And I am one of them. I think we will see some great movements this year. And I'm hoping the Standard Chartered prediction comes true. And it does kind of make sense with all the growing fundamentals, the great technicals, and plus quantitative easing that's all happening around this time frame. We could see some big movements soon. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel, and you guys have a good rest of your day. For me, I'm going to go get some dinner because it's almost nighttime for me. All right, have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye bye.